What was the one or two issues that most disappointed you or surprised you as far as President Obama is concerned and caused you to leave his side?
When I heard the Vice President of the United States, someone I grew up admiring, someone I've been on platforms with, when I heard him go to Danville, Virginia, and talk about politics in a way that no serious candidate ought to talk about it, when I heard him reach the bottom of the deck and talk about one party putting people in chains, when I heard someone that I admired and have been on platforms with talk about ordinary conservative principles as being essentially racial viciousness, because that's the allegation he was making yesterday, I was disappointed by it, but I have to tell you, it brought back memories to me. It brought back memories of these Democratic politicians in the South who think they can go before black crowds and say one thing, that nobody else will hear it, and that they can somehow get a cheer in the room, and that they can blithely go on about their business.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run.
It's personal, and it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. And people don't make a distinction. As you well know, when a South Korean and someone from Beijing, they make no distinction. It's Asia.
As you well know, when a South Korean and someone from Beijing.
The Somalis have made my city of Wilmington, Delaware, on a smaller scale. It's a large, very identifiable Somali community. I might add, if you ever come to the train station with me, you'll notice that I have great relationships with them because there's an awful lot of driving cabs. In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. Even call centers, which rushed overseas in the hundreds of thousands. How many times you get the call? I'd like to talk to you about your... Now, when I mean full diversity, unlike the African American community and many other communities, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following: what do you have to lose?